Evening, welcome to the Derby Debrief from RamsTV. Owen Bradley with former Derby skipper Shaun Barker alongside, here to reflect on Derby's biggest league win of the season so far. They've thrashed Morecambe today by 5 goals to 0. David McGoldrick with another hat-trick. He's third of the season, third in 98 days. It's also the first man since 1973-74 to score 3 hat-tricks in a season for Derby. We'll talk plenty about him as the show goes on. Barks, he's the headline, but Derby win again 6 in a row now. Yeah,
and they were outstanding in that second half. There was times in that first that was a little bit frustrating. I thought we started the game okay. We got crosses into the box. We caused them a few problems, but they just seemed to settle as that first half progressed. And it was that moment of magic from David McGoldrick that got that first goal just before half-time. The timing of the goal, the importance of that goal just allowed us to kind of open up on Morecambe in that second half, and some of the football we played, some of the energy that we showed, some of the goals we scored. It was a wonderful performance, and that is a team full of confidence.
You look at the numbers there, 12 shots on target, 26 shots on goal overall, and a theme that will come through from the interviews in a moment, you'll hear from James Collins and from Paul Warren, is it could have been 6, 7, 8, 9. Derby were that good second half. There
was a couple of chances in the first half, but nothing major. The second half, it was chance after chance after chance. Our forward play, our attacking play, our confidence to step into the pitch was brilliant. The attitude and application and desire to win the ball back stood out for me. As soon as we lost it, within 2 or 3 passes, we were hunting kind of together in packs to try and win that ball back. Every single player did the bit. I thought Dobbin was as good as I've seen. Every time he got the ball, you felt he had the better of Love on that right-hand side and was creating chances. It was just energy, quality, and we were a class above Morecambe. And again, over the last month or two, we've seen it coming together, and it feels like everything's in place. Teams in this division are now starting to fear this side that Paul's created, this squad, this quality. And at home, we're just brushing teams to the side.
I want to come from Barks. Let's get some reaction from the room. We can hear from the head coach, Paul Warren. Paul, you must be a happy man tonight.
Yeah, I am pretty pleased, to be fair. Excuse my voice. Yeah, really pleased. I was more nervous about this game than any other game I've managed for at Derby County. I just had this awful feeling that we'd just turn up and think, oh, this will be all right. And, you know, I did worry. In the first half an hour, I wasn't best pleased. I don't think we moved the ball quick enough. We didn't do any double movements. We didn't get in behind. It was just a bit predictable and a bit sedentary, really. So, and that was a concern. I've been warning all week, and you know, and I was just thinking if they get a set piece and score, then it makes it even more difficult. So the joy of getting the goal just before half-time didn't change the team talk. We still told them what we thought, and they just came out second half and blitzed them. And in fairness, it was more like, it felt like from my point of view, and I'm not, well, I am being disrespectful of the opposition possibly. I just thought that we broke their spirit really, and our play was a joke, an absolute joke. And if the lads keep them standards, they give themselves a right chance. But really pleased, buzzing with Dobbs. I thought Dobbs was amazing. The best thing of the game for me was Colo giving Didsy the ball for his hat-trick. Strikers aren't normally that generous, so that's a nice touch. And then Colo gets his goal as well. But yeah, Dobbs was frightening, and then, you know, it enables us, which is good because, you know, there's a lot of games. We have a small squad, and you know, everyone's obsessed with who you sign and all that. But they're a real close group, which is great. And you know, I could put like Harvey on for his debut, and he should have scored. Although Corey made a great save, didn't he? But I thought he looked amazing. He kept trying to play forward, kept trying to put the strikers in. So, you know, as days go, it was up there. It was you know, really enjoyable, and you know, really proud to watch them. They could have won 8-9. You know, they were that good. So, yeah, there isn't much to complain about.
I know I'm running out of things to say about David McGoldrick. That's his 3rd hat-trick in 98 days. First Derby player in nearly 50 years to get 3 in a season. What would you say about him?
Yeah, he's okay. He needs to work on a lot of parts of his play. He obviously had something, doesn't he? He does things that, I mean, in fairness, the goal in the first half gives us a boost. In fairness, it's a bigger psychological blow than it looks, because they go in at half-time like, oh, they've done really well, made it really difficult for us to get out wide. In respect to the opposition, they made it really hard. They worked so hard out of possession. So that goal is crucial. And then, you know, for him to win a penalty, and score another couple was pretty good. And even his second goal is not an easy finish. You know, you have to concentrate on getting your contact right. But yeah, really pleased for Didsy. Like he's a, you know, I don't have to, but if you score a hat-trick, it's quite a nice way to come off the pitch after 65 minutes. But we have another game in a week. He hasn't, you know, he's only trained 2 days in about 10, so an hour was about perfect for that. So yeah, really pleased for him. He's a good bloke, obviously, but he wants the team to do well. He's a bit of a hero of some of them in there. So yeah, really pleased for him.
Jason Knight, you've talked a lot about him before, 150th appearance for the club today, and he took his goal ever so well. Can you just talk about what he brings to the side?
I was hoping you were going to say, or not hoping, I thought you were going to say, could he talk me through his goal? But I was in the toilet at the time, I didn't even see it. I heard a roar and then I looked on the screen and it said 5-0 Knight, so I haven't seen it. Like today it was different. Obviously I had a choice of, you know, playing with one up the same way we've been playing, bringing Harvey in to replace Birdie. I didn't know whether to do that. It's a bit hard after 2 days training. So then you're asking Knight to play in a 2 with Connor and you're sort of pulling his strengths out of him, if you know what I mean. He plays off the shoulder, but he's just, his energy and drive in and out of possession is at times unplayable. And the more it looks more noticeable, the longer the game goes on. Because even I could run around with him for 20 seconds, but for 90 minutes I couldn't. And that's what he gives. He gives the ball through the edges, through the lines, drives the team on, and yeah, he's some player and some competitor. So it's a joy to watch him in his form at the moment.
We could talk endlessly about the goals and the chances. How pleased are you about the other end of the pitch as well? Another clean sheet today. Yeah,
really good. Well, obviously, Cash is back in, although I thought the captain done really well, Curtis, when he. But Cash and Foz have been pretty formidable as a back four, and you know Hayden slotted in there. Like Hayden give his shirt to Sibbs and then he's took it back. It's quite nice, isn't it? So yeah, all in all, really pleased with that. There wasn't much. There wasn't like saves, but I know that when called upon, Joe will pull us out the clunk. But today he didn't really have a great deal to do. But that's testament to everyone. You know, like the free kick goal at the end of the first half came from the lads pressing, winning the ball back high. All three, Dobbs, Colo and Didsy ran, win the ball back, nick a free kick, score the free kick. So, you know, from hard work, you know, comes success. And the clean sheet is as much to do with the back four as it is to do with trying to do my maths now, the front six. So fair play to them.
Just finally from me, you've talked before about the fact that you never really enjoy things all that much. It's more relief than enjoyment. Yeah. Will you enjoy tonight, though, after a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, you make me sound really dour. I mean, in fairness, after a win, it is relief. I mean, all managers will say that is relief, because I was terrified today. There was loads of things happening today that shouldn't happen. There's a few tickets left over, doesn't normally happen. Hammy and Andy always run with me and Rich much slower, but they do. Today they couldn't, they didn't feel well enough, and I'm thinking, oh, that's another omen. My mum normally sends me a good luck text. She hadn't. I had to phone her, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is a disaster day. So that's the life of a football manager, possibly. But, you know, after about 65, 70 minutes a day, it's probably the most I've enjoyed watching any of my teams play. They were just literally unstoppable. Like Dobbs, if anyone deserved a goal, he did. And, you know, all the subs come on, have an impact, the place is bouncing. No, that was a really enjoyable 20 minutes. And even though I catastrophise all the time, what if, even I could relax at 5, thinking, look, if they score 6, we're pretty unlucky here. So, but in fairness, the lads, they kept driving, kept winning the ball back, kept pressing, kept trying to move it quickly. So they allowed a middle-aged bald man to enjoy his afternoon, really. So in that respect, I thank him.
Paul, well done today.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
And nice to hear that Paul Warne was able to enjoy the day. A 5-0 win for the Rams over Morecambe, which does see them gain ground on a couple of the sides above them. We'll show you the League One table a little later and all the results from today. There were some big games toward the top of the standings. Coming back to the action today first, though, Shaun, David McGoldrick is again the star of the show, and we've been back through the history books. First man to score 3 hat-tricks in a season for Derby since 1973-74. Kevin Hector is some company to keep. And incredibly, and we said this when he got the hat-trick against Forest Green, the second, how did this man never have a hat-trick in his career before?
It's absolutely ludicrous to think that a player of his quality to not get a hat-trick before he signed for Derby County is something else. His quality in front of goal has been exceptional. His confidence, he's always had that creative streak. He's always been able to finish from all different types of positions. But sometimes it just fits. Sometimes it just happens for you. and at the tender age of 35, it seems to come flooding to him. But what he's in is a team that complements how he plays. He has that freedom to drop in those little positions that he wants to. We have so many unselfish players in this group. You look at Barkes and Mendes, Lang, Colo leading the line, the young lads out wide that are creating assists for him. Everyone's doing their part, and it's just McGoldrick that's probably getting the best of it. He's scoring at will. Obviously, people are getting penalties for him, but he just adds that little bit of quality. And although he got man of the match, you look at his 3 goals, there were players that were just as good as him today. I thought Lewis Dobbin down that left-hand side was brilliant. He deserved his goal. He had the fullback on toast every single time. 1v1's his pace and his power to get away from him. But McGoldrick will get the plaudits, and you can understand why. Another 3 goals and another hat-trick.
His first goal today, by the way, made him just the 9th player this season in League One to reach double figures. The next 2 have really put him in the mix for the Golden Boot Award, and I'm sure it won't be the last time that he's on the score sheet this season. We heard from Paul there. James Collins lets David McGoldrick take the penalty to get his 3rd, and then James Collins gets the chance himself. How important was that for him? Because I know it hadn't been too long in the grand scheme of things, but 7 games, Burton, 10th of December since his last league goal. So this will have been important for him.
It was. He had a start of the season where he was struggling to get his goal, and you could see that was weighing on his mind. He's experienced enough and confident enough in himself to understand that he brings more than just goals to this team. He offers more in terms of his experience, his work rate, his hold-up play, his kind of cleverness in and around the box. I think we recognise that, but as a striker, you're always desperate to get goals, and the fact that he gave it to McGoldrick to allow him to get the hat-trick says a lot about him as an individual and as a player. It was just nice to see him get his opportunity as well, and it was a wonderful penalty that he took and scored. So harmony, I mentioned it before the game, harmony within the group, unselfishness, a willingness to give those opportunities for your teammates is a bigger thing than people kind of appreciate. Unless you're in that environment, unless you're in that team and that squad and that dressing room, you don't know how important it is that there's a togetherness, there's a camaraderie, there's a unselfishness to every single player. And I think we're seeing that, and we're seeing that more so since Paul's taken charge. He's really instilled that in this group, and we're seeing the rewards now.
Jason Knight probably epitomises what Paul Warne wants his side to be, and almost every week you feel as though his performance deserves a goal, and he got one today, and he took it very well.
He did, and it started with Fozzie driving into Morecambe's half. There was space ahead of him. I mentioned on commentary that him and Cash did it really well in the second half. The space, step into it, be confident, be kind of aggressive with being in possession as a centre half, and he found Jason Knight, who was relentless in that second half. I know we talk about his energy, we talk about his attitude to get around the pitch, but he offers so much quality as well, and a real composure in front of goal, just to drop his shoulder, to wait for the right opportunity to shoot. He deserved his goal, but many players did in that team today. And I think with Jason Knight, I said at the start, Paul will love him because of his energy, because of his attitude, because of his desire to get around the pitch. But I feel we're so lucky to have a player of his calibre, of his class, and of his kind of energy, because he brings something special to this team.
Let's hear from one of the goal scorers now. Here's James Collins. Well, James, biggest league win of the season, terrific performance. You must be very happy in that room.
Yeah, it's a happy dressing room. It's a great 3 points. These games that you're expected to win can sometimes be banana skins, but listen, credit to everyone today. We got the job done, and we played some great stuff at times, and I think everyone's happy in there. Yeah.
How important was the goal just before half-time? It's a cliche to say it's a good time to score, but it seemed to be today.
Yeah, it's massive because it probably changes their half-time team talk, and great finish. And that gave us the boost then to go second half, and then scoring pretty much straight away after half time is great as well, because they've got to come out and try and get a goal, and we kept pressing them and playing forward, and could have been 7 or 8, couldn't it really? So credit to the lads. We didn't take the foot off the gas all afternoon, I don't think, so great performance.
How pleased were you to score today? Not just to maybe settle the score with the goalkeeper who saved the penalty against you early in the season, but I know strikers don't want to wait too long between goals.
Yeah, listen, as a striker you always want to score goals, and today I was obviously pleased to get on the score sheet. Obviously, Dave, me and Dave had a penalty each, so for as strikers you want to be scoring goals, and if you're winning 5-0 at home and you've not scored, you'll probably be a bit disappointed. But no, on a personal note, really delighted, and listen, that's what we're paid to do, and the back lads obviously kept a clean sheet as well, which is shouldn't go under the radar. So listen, everyone involved today, the subs that come on, Harvey making his debut, it was a great day.
You mentioned David McGoldrick, another hat-trick for him. At 35, is he a bit of an inspiration to all of you in there?
Some player, isn't he? Yeah, listen, I've known Dave for years. We're really close off the pitch, and he's Premier League quality, isn't he? He's 35 now, but I don't think that's going to stop him anytime soon. He's still going well, and he's still banging them in, and you can see the quality that he's got on the pitch, and we're a better side when he's in the team, so credit goes to him.
You've extended the unbeaten run in the league after the unbeaten run overall ended on Monday by West Ham. Was there ever a sense that might sort of disrupt your momentum a little bit, or did you all just think we're going to keep rolling here?
No, not really, because I think Monday was a bit of a free hit. We always wanted someone good in the draw and for the fans, but our home form and our league form is the most important. We want to get promoted out of this league. We probably would, if we'd have beat West Ham, we'd have probably got another good tie. But when it comes down to it, we're never going to win the FA Cup. So we want to get promoted, and we bounced back from that result Monday really well today. And
I've asked this plenty of times already, but how do you keep this going now? 6 wins in a row. How do you make it 7?
Well, we just got to keep doing the things that we're doing. Keep training hard. Keep taking information on. Don't take our foot off the gas, and just keep them run momentum keeps going. And I think when I went up with Luton, we were 28 games unbeaten and we got promoted, so this team's more than capable of doing that, and we've just got to keep going. We've got a tough month, we've got some big games coming up, and we just got to keep going.
Well done today.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Results from League One this afternoon then. Lincoln, big win away at Accrington, who had a man sent off. Bolton got a late winner to keep up the pace. They beat Cheltenham by 1-0. MK Dons winners at Bristol Rovers. That one has become a bit of a grudge match after some back and forth between the clubs on Twitter over the last 48 hours, but MK Dons coming out on top. A game of significance for Derby. Ipswich held away at Cambridge, so Derby closed the gap to the Tractor Boys by a couple of points. Charlton won, Burton won, big victory for them that gets them out of the bottom 4 away at Fleetwood. Wins on the road as well for Peterborough, for Shrewsbury, for Wickham. Barnsley, they got a point away at Portsmouth. Luke Thomas with the goal. Big point for them in their push to try and stay in the playoff places. And the biggest game of the day, arguably at Hillsborough this afternoon, Sheffield Wednesday beating Plymouth. That was the top 2 going head-to-head. And it means that Sheffield Wednesday have gone above Plymouth to the top of League One tonight. Level on points, but the Owls with the better goal difference. It also means that Derby are now within 8 points of top spot. They also have a game in hand on Plymouth as well. Also have a game in hand on Ipswich. A victory in that game will now see Derby leapfrog them. You can see Bolton and Barnsley rounding off the playoff places. At the other end, Morecambe, after the big defeat today, dropped back into the bottom 4. Burton moving out, Cambridge, Accrington and Forest Green the other side. It is a real scrap down at the bottom. That's all from us for now. If you want more reaction, it's on the website, dcfc.co.uk. We're back next Saturday. Till then, goodbye.